The Derwent Watercolor Set claims to stop uneven results. Is that even possible? We're testing that massive claim right now to see if this is truly the best watercolor set for beginners. In this video, we'll swatch the colors and mix some darks to test the pigment load. And we'll be painting a simple landscape as part of the test. Just a plastic palette, wrapped in plastic. There we go. Comes with a little water brush. These paints are translucent, not transparent, and I observed that as I was swatching them. They seem to have a good concentration of color, not the heaviest, but certainly not the worst. And they re-wet quickly. I really like the range of colors here, and you can find all the specific details in the description below. The paint did have a funny drying shift though. It looked dull, but with a funny white cast. The white cast did go away completely once they were dry. Also, the more opaque colors dried looking almost like gouache. Now make sure you stick around until the end, because while making this video, I was reminded of one of the crucial things every watercolor painter must know, and I'll share that with you. Now, for the main event, I'm painting this landscape, and I'm going to intentionally break all the rules. I know from experience that going back into half-dry washes and adding more paint and water is a recipe for disaster. But watch what happens. I'm simply plopping stuff in right now to see the paint's reaction. I do have to say their colors are beautiful and vibrant. And if you notice, I am not painting carefully, and I'm doing that on purpose because a beginner may not know that you can't do certain things and they'll try it. I'm gonna pick this up and I'm going to drop a little bit of it in here. See if we can get some really thick pigment. Yeah, so the water seems to sit on this quite a bit. So I'm gonna dry that and just try to mix up some thicker pigment. I just found it was getting too lost in the water. I'm going to put some more blue in the sky. I'm really just pushing this to its limit to see. That is such a pretty blue. Now I can see this is drying really dull, but I think that's kind of that dry stage in between. So while that is drying, I'm going to pretend I'm impatient. Well, I don't have to pretend I am impatient. Who are we kidding? And I'm going to put a glaze over top of this. I want some really dark, just along parts of this. If this was left in any other watercolor, you would get a big back run. I let that dry, and this actually didn't cause a back run. It did dry darker, of course, because there was more pigment. The biggest thing I notice is this paint looks really thick that's sitting on top when I was trying to get the dark colors, but that could actually be a limitation of the paper. I have little scrap pieces of 100% cotton. This is actually Fabriano. I'm going to just see what happens when I get some thick paint on this. Okay, that's pretty thick. Wash, a little more water. Oh, already. So, yeah, already I can see the difference just with how it's taking it in, right? So there's cotton paper, there's cheap paper. See how the paper is taking the pigment in? Okay, so let's just try adding some really dark. I'm gonna add some really dark over here too, that's not wet. So this is definitely not a paint limitation, that is just a paper limitation. See how as soon as I get the paper wet, it starts sucking it in. So this just sat on top. So that's a paper thing. Wow, okay, so these are really nice on cotton paper. Let me grab some of this and just see how this pulls it in. Yeah, I thought it would be fair to try it on the good paper as well. As I can see, it was a paper limitation. Can you see the difference from this to that? And that's exactly why, even where I put it, see how I just put it there? Do you see how I put it thick there and the paper's still absorbing some of it? This is just really sitting on top. The results of the paper test are the biggest lesson. On cheap paper, the paint sat on top, but on the 100% cotton paper, the pigment sank in beautifully. Investing in the right paper is the one game changer that stops the frustration. It's the number one thing I suggest that all beginner watercolors spend a little more money on. So, is the Derwent Watercolor Pan Set the solution for you? Derwent is an honest, reputable company, and they deliver exactly what they said they had. Considering I only paid $19, this is a great affordable watercolor option, especially since you can buy the pans separately to replace the ones that run out. Just know that just because they are so forgiving, you'll need to master water control later if you switch to a professional transparent paint. But for budget and less frustration, this is an excellent starting point. Now, to stop those frustrating results for good, click the video on the screen now. I'm showing you the 5 watercolor mistakes beginners make so you can avoid them all and enjoy painting more. Thanks for watching.